Myth 4. God won't give you more than you can handle. This one gets repeated as an encouragement, usually to people who are barely hanging on. It is loosely based on 1 Corinthians 10:13, but that verse is actually talking about temptation, not suffering. It says God will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you can bear, and that He will always provide a way out of temptation. It has nothing to do with general life circumstances. And the idea that God will never give you more than you can handle is actually contradicted elsewhere in Scripture. Paul himself wrote in 2 Corinthians 1:8, "We were under great pressure, far beyond our ability to endure, so that we despaired of life itself." Far beyond their ability to endure. Paul said that, the Apostle Paul, sometimes life gives us things we absolutely cannot handle on our own. And that is the point. Because in those moments, we reach for God in ways we never would when life is comfortable. The promise is not that life will stay within our capacity. The promise is that God will never leave us, even when we are completely overwhelmed. You might be thinking, does it really matter? These are small mistakes. The heart is in the right place. It matters more than we realize, because what we believe about God shapes everything else. If you believe God helps those who help themselves, you will come to God only as a last resort. If you believe everything happens for a reason, you might end up blaming God for tragedies He did not cause. If you follow your heart without the filter of Scripture, you leave yourself open to deception. And if you expect that God will never give you more than you can handle, you might walk away from faith the moment life overwhelms you, because you feel like God broke His promise. Bad theology does real damage. Truth protects us. Hosea 4:6 is sobering. My people are destroyed from lack of knowledge. We cannot afford to build our lives on phrases that sound right but are not. So how do we protect ourselves from believing things God never said? First, read the Bible for yourself. Not just devotionals, not just quotes, not just what your favorite preacher says. Open the actual Scripture and read it. Second, when you hear a quote attributed to the Bible, ask, where exactly is that? Look it up. Third, be in community with other believers who take the Bible seriously. And finally, be humble. All of us have believed things that were not quite right. The goal is not to be perfect. It is to keep moving closer to truth. Here is my question for you today. Which of these myths surprised you the most? Share this one with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one. God bless.